Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof.
How's everybody doing? It's the Proof in the Pudding podcast show, and I go by the name of Sion 919. I'm definitely excited about today's show because we got a talented artist in the building. She goes by the name of Lynze. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. For those watching, salute to y'all. Thanks to everybody supporting. So without any further ado, Lynze, for the people that may not know, let's let them know a little bit about yourself.
Hey everyone, it's Lynze checking in. So my name is Lynze, Lynze. It's not spelled the normal way, or most people pronounce it Lynze, but I'm Lynze. I was born in San Diego, California. I now reside in Arizona. I don't want to say I'm third generation because I could be more than that, but I'm third generation musical within my family.
Right.
So it's in my bloodline. And I love music and I love creating and I'm a visionary and it's a crazy obsession that I have. So here we are.
Here we are. So that's the thing, right? You're a music artist. How did you first get influenced in the music and what was the journey like for you?
I feel like I was born just kind of feeling that way. Like since I was younger, I always had a broad music taste. So I would always listen to all types of music and even operas, just random styles of music. And I've just loved it. But my family, my mother, she's a performing artist as well as an actress. So when I was younger, I would always be there watching her do her thing. I'd go with her to auditions and everything. So that really is what taught me what I know today.
Okay. So what was some of them experiences like? You watching your mom, she's doing it. So I know you're proud to see her doing her thing. What are some of the memories back then that stand out the most?
So she used to sing with this choir named Mata from San Diego, California. Shout out. And they, they did vocal lessons and stuff. So those are my fondest my most memorable memories was sitting there. Because for whatever reason, I never did it. So back then nobody knew that I could sing till recently.
Right.
But I never joined the choir. I would just sit there and watch them rehearse and I would learn how they do their vocal exercises.
Right.
And then when I would go home, I would do it in my room.
Do it in the room. So a lot of memories, a lot of training was going on in the bedroom. Nobody know that you're doing music, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are some of them memories like in the beginning? And when did you first know this is something I want to do or this is something I can do?
When did I first know? So I would say recently, maybe a few years ago is when I first knew that I could actually do it, where I could take it somewhere. but I've always known within me, because I started with writing first. I've always been like a poet.
Right.
So I always had a way with my words. When I used to get in trouble in elementary school, my principal told me I had a gift for gap, and I didn't know what that meant. But I've always had a way with words, and I started writing them down, and I realized that they touched people, like my
Right.
friends and stuff. When I would show them what I wrote, they'd be like, "Wow, this is actually this is pretty great."
Right.
So it first started with my writing abilities versus my vocal abilities.
Okay. So let's talk about that writing journey right
Okay.
there. Where did you draw your inspiration from when you were writing? What was your creative process like?
Honestly, it's like a download. It's like a spiritual download. Sometimes a friend of mine sent me a poem that I wrote, I don't even know when, and I'm like, "Oh, this is cool. Who wrote this?" And she's like, "You did." And I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
"Oh." So sometimes it's like I don't even remember. So I just let it come out. Um, so that's really I don't force it. I don't force my writing. It's like when it comes, and it comes, and beautifully. It comes, I say what I'm supposed to say. It's hard to explain.
I
Um,
definitely.
Sorry. But yeah, I freestyle. That's really where my strength is too. A lot of people don't. I am a writer, but the majority of the songs that I come up with, I just open my mouth. I don't really sit and, you know, I'll construct it later, but I just allow it to come out.
In that process right there. Okay,
Mhm.
so over the years, how have your writing style evolved? I'm pretty sure over the years you learned some things and you incorporated it. What was
Yeah.
that like?
So my rapper friend out here in Tucson, his name's Jay Till. He's the one that really kind of helped me um structure a song, and he's a rapper.
Okay.
Right. So he's the one, like, my song Anxious, him and I co-wrote that together.
Wow.
Um and so I came to him. I had already had it written. It was a poem that I had wrote years ago before I even started music. And I had it written, I had a reference track and everything. And I'm like, "Hey, help me out." So he kind of like constructed it for me, and like how you do it and certain things. So since I met him, I kind of learned how to construct songs in a different way, if that makes sense.
Right. I definitely understand that. The song Anxious is a real powerful lyrics in the song. Where did that song come from? Like what inspired that song? What was you going through at the time to make
Anxiety
you
and depression. I
anxiety and
mean,
depression?
just real life. It was I'm diagnosed with anxiety disorders, so and I feel like I hide it well, but I really have really bad anxiety. And
Wow.
I think that was what maybe stopped me from doing music for so long. So that's why that song was really powerful for me to drop first,
Right.
because it was very freeing for me. And I felt like people could relate. I feel like anxiety is a silent monster.
Nah.
Um, so most people can relate to those words. It was very vulnerable when I look after I dropped it. My cousin called me asking if I was all right. So I was like, the writing must be pretty good if you're concerned about my
Right.
mental health. I
And, and,
was
and,
just being honest.
And that's the thing right there. Anxiety and mental health is a real serious thing right there. So
Mhm.
for the people, right, that may be going through something similar, what helped you through your anxiety?
It's a journey that we're still figuring out. But I do go to therapy,
Go to
and I
therapy.
actually sure we'd have to that. Different styles of therapy. So there's talk therapy, and there's also like somatic therapy, which is like yoga and doing things physically with your body to release some of the tension. But me, I sing. If I'm having an anxiety attack and I'm like worrying about things that may or may not even be an issue, I just start singing. I'll open my mouth and I'll record myself, and I'll just say what it is that I feel, and that helps bring me down. That's the biggest thing that helps me.
Right.
And I also, when I'm having thoughts now, I've just been able to do that. But when I have those anxious thoughts, I immediately try to, like, affirmations, and do the opposite of whatever that thought is. So
Right.
if I'm feeling scared, it'll be, I'm empowered, I'm strong, and that helps. That helps me.
Right. And
But
that's the thing.
therapy,
Therapy.
yes.
Okay. And that's the thing. I want to stay right there for real quick because sometimes people go through things that you can see.
Mhm.
Anxiety is, like you said, is a silent. You can be going through an anxiety and people not even know.
Mhm.
So in those moments right there, right, like you said, it may feel like you're shrinking. It may feel like, yo, there's too much going on. It's a real thing. Like you said, you do the opposite. So if you're feeling like I'm feeling weak, I say I'm strong. How
Mhm.
important is that in those times when anxiety is kicking in to fight through? And what advice would you give to anybody that may be suffering?
It's very important. Thoughts become things. So the more that you think of something, it will materialize within your reality. I don't know if anybody's seen The Secret, but I've seen it. And what you think is what you create. So it's really important. It's called transmuting your pain into power.
Transmuting your pain into power.
Yes. So it doesn't mean that the pain is gone. It means that you're reshaping it. You're turning it into something else. You're changing that thought. You're using that same fear and emotion
Right.
into something positive. So that same like anxious feeling that you feel, if you back it behind I'm great, I'm good, that feeling turns, that word, those feelings empower the words versus staying in that anxious space. If
Wow.
that makes sense.
It definitely makes sense. So
Mhm.
now let's get back to the song. Y'all write and get together. You say you wrote the poem.
Yes.
You get with J Tilt.
Yes.
Y'all put it together. What was
Yes.
that process like recording and making the video and stuff like that? Walk me through your journey.
So he came. I recorded that song in my bedroom.
Wow.
That song was in my bedroom, and he just came over. It was him, me, and my significant other at the time. He was my engineer,
Okay.
and he came over. We ordered Popeyes. We had Popeyes, um, and we were constructing the song first, and he would add like little his the portion that he wrote, I feel like I got a disease, I feel like I got a disease, he added certain accents to it, but it was real quick. It probably only took us like a couple hours
Wow.
altogether.
You put it together.
um yeah, we work quick and well.
Wow. And that's the thing right there. I'm glad that you just sang a little something right there. What
Oh,
part of the song is your favorite part? And if you don't mind, can you give them a little sample of the song?
sure.
All right.
Don't black out on me, don't black out on me, don't black out, just roll some tree, roll some weed, everything gonna be alright. I know you anxious, I know you're anxious, but don't black out on me, don't black out on me, don't black out, just roll some tree, roll some weed, everything gonna be alright. I know you're anxious, I know you're anxious.
Wow. All right. So that's the thing right there. That song means a lot to you. It's personal. You're
Mm-hmm.
connected to the song. Now you're recording. You say you did it in your bedroom. When you're
Yes.
hearing it back for the first time, the final mix, what's going through your mind?
Cringe.
Wow.
Cringe. I'm like, oh, it's not perfect. And no, 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 no. It took me a long time to release it.
Wow.
It took me long because it was vulnerable and I'm a perfectionist. So, I wanted it to mean something to me and other people. So I don't know. And there was certain parts actually, I mean, I won't even go into that because I'm not going to have people research and stuff.
Right.
But I just wanted it to be perfect. So I was cringing, but I'd let other people, listen to it, people in my circle, and they all had the same response. So I was like, I think it's time to drop it. I think we're good.
Okay.
But I am a perfectionist for sure.
I mean, it's your lyrics and it's your thoughts, so it's personal to you.
Hmm.
So now you release it. You let your friends hear it. You put it out. What's the response you're getting? Everybody's loving it.
Loving. Yeah.
Walk me through that journey right there. What's going through your mind? What's
I'm
happening?
I'm flabbergasted.
Right.
I'm flabbergasted with how people were like quickly connecting to it. Like, hey, I have anxiety, or making videos of them like rolling tree and listening to it. When I go on TikTok, I'll ask people while I'm live to listen to it, and I look at the responses. And at first, I don't think they're expecting anything. You know what I
Right.
mean? They're just another. And then they like do this thing where they like doze off and like into their where they're like really listening to it and they're like quiet. So
Wow.
that's been the response that I get, and they'll be like, "Wow, like that was really touching," and that's really been the response that I get. People are touched by it, you know.
That's important right there.
Yeah.
How important to you is your message? How do you want to be remembered? And when people listen to your music, what do you want them to walk away with?
Healing,
Feel.
feeling understood. I feel like I'm a healer. And so my way of continuing that is through my music, you know, and I choose to make relatable music, which
Right.
and I feel like if you feel understood, you can heal a little bit because you don't feel alone,
Right.
you
Right.
know. So I mean, I'll make relatable music about anything, to be honest. It could be something funny, something serious, but either way, healing.
That's
That's
very
what I
deep
want.
right there.
Hmm.
We got a comment that says the Bible tells us life and death is in the tongue. Speak it.
This is facts.
Very powerful right there. Very powerful. And that's the thing. So now you're seeing the response. You're affecting people. Now it's time to do the video.
Hmm.
Where did you draw the inspiration from the concept? And how did you put that together?
Well, I have two videos for it. Have you seen both videos or just one?
I have seen both.
So the first one that I dropped was the one with my son and my best friend.
Right.
And he was representing, like, I'll say an entity of anxiety, so to speak.
Right.
So, you know, just kind of always being around. And then my friend in the video was representing sobriety and strength
Right.
because I mentioned sobriety in there as well.
Exactly.
And so she was representing that part, the angel and the devil. That was the influence of it. So that's where that came from. The second one, I love gardens. My dad had a garden growing up, and I love being outside and in the dirt. And I wanted it to be a little bit more natural, you know, with my hair. I had no makeup on. Um, I wanted to show me more, I guess,
Right.
more of me. My other kids were in that one as well. I was at Drewtopia, by the way, in Tucson, Arizona. Drewtopia, Drutopia, Black owned farmer. If anybody from Arizona is watching this, go there for your plants. Don't go to Lowe's. Go to Drewtopia. But
Wow.
that's where I was. It's one of my favorite places to be. It's very peaceful. So I
Very
decided to shoot my video there.
wow. And that's the thing. So it comes out, now you're premiering it. What's the
Hmm.
response as people begin to see the visuals for the song now? What's the response you're getting?
Great. Everybody was very pleased with the production of both, and the stories that both of them told were kind of different.
Right.
So, you know, I made the second one, the one where I was in the garden, for TikTok.
For TikTok.
For TikTok. I
Exclusively
didn't
for TikTok.
for TikTok.
Wow.
The other one was for YouTube, but that one was more of a TikTok-y thing where I can like chop it and like make it. So I had a strategic plan um, for it. So, which I think most artists should do. We have to like be intentional with different social media platforms, and TikTok is one to be very intentional with your music.
Right.
So yeah, I made that one for TikTok.
Okay. And later on in the show, I want to talk about the importance of the different social media platforms because they all have different purposes. So we'll jump to that. But while we're on this song right here, very touching topic, anxiety we're talking about.
Mhm.
Right. So now the video comes out, you're getting a good response. How proud of you of this moment? Because it came from a poem,
Mhm.
turns into a song.
Mhm.
Now it's a production. Now you're touching people, you're influencing them. This is your
Mhm.
first one, right?
First single. Well, second single. Second single.
Okay. How are
Yeah.
you feeling right now? How was that moment?
I was feeling amazing. Like, you know, I was getting a lot of opportunities after that dropped. A lot more eyes were on me. I have my family's in the music industry.
Okay.
So a lot of the people from LA that my family were connected with were starting to pay attention. And it was the song that made people pay attention.
Wow. That's the thing. And that's
That's
what you want.
that's what I want.
You want something that's going to stand out. You want something different. I think you hit that on the head with this song right here. So you
Thank
mentioned earlier sobriety, right?
you.
We're
Yes.
talking about anxiety. A lot of times when people going through things, they're going through
Mhm.
storms of life,
Mhm.
stress, anxiety, things like that. A lot of times we tend to mask these things with substances, whether it be drinking or whatever their choice may be.
Mm-hmm.
How important is the sobriety, and what's the dangers in trying to mask it and depending on these influences?
Sobriety is very important for everything, for processing. You can't really process when you're under the influence of anything.
Right.
And addiction can be more than drugs. Addiction can be eating, shopping, sexual activities, anything. Whatever that addiction is for you, that numbs whatever you got going on, it will stop your growth. It'll hinder your growth. And I'm a cannabis person, okay? But even that, like when I'm going through it, I won't smoke whatsoever. I have to feel everything that I need to feel. I need to go through everything I need to go through because it will hinder it. It will hinder, you actually being okay, And when you go through something, you have to feel like crap first. You have to allow yourself to go through it. If you don't, then you will stay stuck at a certain point.
Wow.
If you don't fully feel all of the ups and downs and
Wow.
So sobriety is very important.
Right.
Very, very important.
I definitely agree with that right there. Again, at this time right here, I think it's a perfect time to jump to the video. And we'll talk a little bit more. So if you don't mind introducing it, I'm going to go ahead and cue it up for the people. We got to hold on before we do that. We got another comment. It causes an illusion. It isn't real. You need to feel the real.
The real. I like that.
Wow. Salute to Pastor Jenkins in the building. All right. Okay, so we're going to introduce the video and then we're going to jump back because this is a real important topic. A lot of people deal with it. They don't speak about it a lot. So I'm glad that this is the direction that it's taken. You can introduce.
Awesome.
All right.
Hey everybody, it's Lynze. We're about to premiere my second single, Anxious, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Like and subscribe. Follow me at Lynze Music, and here is Anxious.
My name's Anxiety, pleased to meet you, I'm your leader. I'm gonna leave you second guessing and reflecting, cause it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Hello, my name's Sobriety, pleased to meet you, I'm your leader. I'm gonna leave you second guessing and reflecting, baby, cause you matter. Baby girl, you matter, yeah. And I'm flattered, cause I'm all you see, and I'm all you need, and all you breathe. It's a vicious cycle that's turning, I'm learning. It's because of me, and I love it. Cause without me, how could you breathe? You know I'm the one that you need. You know I'm the one that you need. And baby, for you, I'm a fake. Call me if you need anything. Call me if you need anything, yeah. My feelings are 100 degrees. I feel like I got a disease. I feel like I got a disease. Hello, my name's Anxiety. Pleased to meet you, I'm your leader. I'm gonna leave you second guessing and reflecting, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Hello, my name's Sobriety. Pleased to meet you, I'm your leader. I'm gonna leave you second guessing and reflecting, baby, cause you matter. Baby girl, you matter. It's another day disconnected, another day avoiding rejection, another day stuck in a cell block of a vivid mind. How cruel of me to keep it all confined. I'll cut a nigga off and I never look around. How cruel of me. I'll cut a nigga off and I never look around. How cruel to me. Don't black out on me, don't black out on me. Don't black out, just roll some trade, roll some weight. Everything gon' be alright, I know you anxious. I know you anxious. But don't black out on me, don't black out on me. Don't black out, just roll some trade, roll some weight. Everything gon' be alright, I know you anxious. I know you anxious. Hello, my name's Anxiety. Pleased to meet you. I'm your leader. I'm gonna leave you second guessing and reflecting. Cause it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
That was the video for Anxious right there. Very dope. Very powerful message in the video. So what was the direction that y'all were going for this video?
The direction was when anxiety plagues you when you're all alone.
Right.
You know, because that's when, I mean, you can still feel anxiety in front of people, but when you're by yourself, that's when it gets really bad. So that's really where we were going, just what it's like to have anxiety when you're alone. You know, those lonely days.
Right. And that's the thing. It's almost like spirits and energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one of those moments, right? Let's pick any one. I'm pretty sure you had thousands of them. What's going through your head? An anxiety moment, an anxious moment. Like for the people that may have never experienced, they may not understand what it's like.
For me, it is intrusive thoughts, unhinged, intrusive, just anything, right? Just all types of thoughts of scenarios that have never happened or haven't happened yet, but could possibly happen. Just plaguing, you know, going over and over and over. That's what it is for me.
Right.
I've had one panic attack in my life, which I'm proud of. But yeah, for me, it's just my thoughts. It's my thoughts because I'm a quiet, anxious person. You wouldn't know. And that's why most people that are in, like you noticed, a lot of comedians and people who are funny, and those are the ones that we hear have done something, you know,
right.
have taken their lives. But it's because they're quiet. They're quiet about it. They deal with it when nobody's around, and they mask it with making people laugh.
Right.
And so you have to be careful for the people that make you laugh. If you around a bunch of people, if somebody's making you laugh all the time, check in with them, because it's a mask. So I was one of those people. I'm the type of person that, like, you know, everybody is cool with me, but you know, at times if I'm alone, I can't make myself laugh. But if I go around you, I can raise your vibrations, you know. So it's one of those things.
Wow. So it's the moments when you're alone.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And it just creeps in. How do you deal with it? Like for the people that are struggling, what have you learned over the years, and how has it gotten easier for you?
I talk about it now. I let somebody know.
Right.
Hey, I'm going through it right now. I make sure to let somebody know, or you know, I know who to call to, you know, help me. Like I said, I'm in therapy. Therapy is very important. And if you're not interested in talk therapy, there are other types of therapy. I also do spiritual work like Reiki. I might have pronounced that wrong for any of the spiritual people out there. Reiki. My friend, she's an energy, like she'll get your chakras together and stuff. So there's a few different things that I do, you know, but mainly telling people, not being ashamed of it, even though there's still a taboo, especially within Black families.
Right.
There's still a taboo, but I don't care anymore.
Wow. That's the thing. We're getting the word out there, spreading awareness. A lot of people, they suffer in silence through it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, even how important is people understanding that you're reaching out to, because somebody that never went through it, they may not understand. So while you're going through what you're going through, and they're saying, just come out, it ain't that easy, it ain't a big deal. Mm-hmm. How big of a deal is it?
It's huge. It's huge. We can't, you know, I think it's very dangerous to do that to people, you know, because we don't know how people perceive and process, and everybody wants to feel validated and understood, and nobody's, you know, it's very important for somebody to feel heard.
Wow.
You know, even if you don't understand, and you got to know who to call too. Not everybody can tap into that. Not everybody's emotionally available to be able to be there for you. You have to know who those people are in your life. Don't call somebody just because you want them to be there. Call the right person.
That's a key thing right there. Call the right person. Wow.
You know,
people may also associate this with depression, but that's not a true thing. It doesn't have to be depressed. Like you said, it's just being in your thoughts, overthinking. And
I'm an Aquarius, and that's what we do. Wow. We overthink. That's just overthink about just this crazy. So, but that's an Aquarius trait. But yeah, it's just overthinking. That's it. And sometimes you just need somebody to shake you and be like, stop.
Just come on
You're
back,
fine.
bring it back.
Yes, bring it back.
Wow, that's the thing right there. So Anxious is out on all platforms, right?
It is.
Okay. So now we got Anxious out. That was the second single.
Yes.
What was the first one?
Something sexy.
Something Sexy. What inspired that record, and what was that process like?
I woke up one day and I said, I think I want to make something sexy. And I did, and that's what I named it. I just wanted to make, because I honestly think, I think when people first see me, they do see what I look like. So there's a sex appeal that is associated with me. So I'm not all sex appeal, but I got it. So I just decided to make something sexy.
Wow. So you got Sex Appeal. You
Mm-hmm.
follow up with Anxious.
Mm-hmm.
What was the third one?
It Ain't That Easy. I have a music video for that one too.
Right. That's a good record right there. It Ain't Easy. That's a collab record, right?
With Styles the Artiste out of Phoenix, AZ.
Okay. What inspired that record, and what was that process like collabing with him?
It was awesome. He's awesome. And I want to collab with him more. I had gone through a breakup and it was just not easy to not want to be with him anymore. I still wanted to be with him. So I wrote a song about that, which is also relatable for males and females. It's just, it ain't that easy to forget. I miss your love, but I'll never show it.
Wow. All right. What's the part of that song that stands out the most to you? Like, what if you had to pick 4 bars out of that song? Which bars mean the most to you?
If my friends only knew how deep I was into you, they would put me on an A&E interview. Forget to mention my intervention, but can you blame me? Your love's amazing. Your soul's embedded in my human fabric. Your withdrawal on sight felt cruel and drastic. My heart's attacking my common sense.
Wow. All right. Deep right there. We're gonna get into that. The hook on that song.
Uh-huh.
Can you give them?
That easy. It ain't that easy. It ain't that easy. Ay. That's it.
All right. So a lot of pain, a lot of emotions writing the song.
Uh-huh.
What was that process like in the studio? Now you got the words. Now it's time to express it. What was that like?
It was pretty quick and easy for me. I had it written down. I had it arranged because I arrange and write all my music. So yeah, that was a pretty easy, because the breakup that I was going through, it was probably like 3 years older relationship. So I wasn't really emotionally going through that currently.
Right.
But I still felt like it was something that people can relate to. But yeah, it was quick and easy. I had it written and arranged and got on the mic and laid it down.
Wow. And that's the thing. The name of the song, It Ain't That Easy. Going through. Just went through a breakup. 3 years later, it's time to record it.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty easy.
It was pretty easy.
What was that process like, that 3-year period? A lot of growth had to happen, I'm pretty sure.
A lot of growth. I wasn't single very long, which I regret.
Right.
So, but yeah, a lot of growth. Definitely a lot of growth since then. For sure. A lot of growth.
Okay. Song is out.
I wasn't single. I didn't stay single too long. So.
Okay. Yeah. So now the song is out. Ain't that easy. What's the response? What are your fans saying at this time? Song number 3.
Yeah.
What's the response?
They love it. So somebody sent me a video of some girl knowing the lyrics to the whole song. And it's really popping out in Phoenix, Arizona. Shout out to Phoenix. That's the majority of my streams and support is from Phoenix. That's actually where I started networking first, was in Phoenix.
Wow.
But yeah, Phoenix loves everybody. Everybody loved it. I don't think that song has gotten enough exposure, because I think more people would like it. Because I wanted, even though it was a sad topic, I wanted it to be something you could dance to. So,
and that's the thing. It does give you that feel good, that, like you said, dancing. I can see people skating even.
Mm-hmm.
The skating ring type of song. Have you
Mm-hmm.
gotten to perform that song anywhere yet?
I have.
What's the response like when you're performing it? What are you getting back from the crowd?
Great love. And the guy who's featuring in it is a model and has like a 6-pack. So the ladies, yeah. I was strategic with him too. I'm like, ladies love you. So yeah, it's always love, always good vibes.
Okay, so that's the thing. Now we could talk about strategizing.
Mm-hmm.
Strategic with him. Strategic with the TikTok video format.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How important is branding and marketing? What things have you learned since you started?
Branding and marketing is more, and I don't mean this, but in the business sense of music, branding and marketing is almost more important than the song. You could have a trash song but amazing marketing and you'll become a millionaire. You could have a horrible McDonald's sandwich but they market it right with Offset and Cardi B and they sell it out. Marketing is very important. Um, that's still something that I'm still trying to, you know, perfect. In working with the team that I work with, I'm working with new people, but marketing is very important. Very, 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 very important. You know,
That's real right there. That's real. It's
mhm.
very important in marketing. So let me ask you, what's the most important thing with your music? When you put it out, what's the ultimate goal? What do you want from it? Do you want to touch people? Do you want to become financially famous? Do you want to be like, what's the whole drive
Both,
behind your music?
both of them,
Both of them.
both of them. I want to touch. Like I said, I feel like I'm a healer, but I definitely want to do this for a living.
Okay, you want to do it for a living. So when we say
Mhm.
do it for a living, are we talking about cruise ships? Or are we talking about I want my face, I
I'm
want to be a
talking about.
household name?
I'm trying to be at the Grammys next year.
I'm trying to be at the Grammys next year.
We already have the Grammys this year, right?
We had the Grammys this year.
Yeah, I'm trying to be at the Grammys next year.
Wow. Okay. A lot of hard work.
Yes.
It's a long journey. You're in the game. What was it like making that transition from in the room singer to world renowned, going to the Grammys? What has that journey been like for you?
A hell of a journey. It's not been easy.
Right.
So let's just start there. It's not been easy. It takes a lot of discipline and it takes you not caring about what other people think. It takes you putting energy into yourself and sometimes people not liking that. It takes long nights. It takes failing horribly and then coming back and learning from it. It takes stepping out of your own bubble and stepping out of your own way. Step out of your way.
All right. All right. And that's real. Getting out of your own way, getting out of your own head.
Yes, get out of your
If you had to pick two memories, two moments that stand out the most, what would those experiences be
thus far.
thus far?
So I met I used to work I still work in the cannabis industry, but I used to be a bud tender.
Okay.
And I was working one day, I actually had COVID, so I was gone for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I came back, and the first day I came back, I met Craig Hodges. He used to play on the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Excuse me, sorry. I had no clue who he was. I was like, I don't know you, sir. I don't know you. He wrote his name on a piece of paper and I Googled him later and I realized who he was. And then later I found out he actually was the one that just helped R. Kelly make his first album. He's the one that helped R. Kelly because they're both from Chicago.
Right.
But he's the one that helped fund his album and get him signed to a record label.
Wow.
So I sent him my music and he was immediately a fan. And like since then, he's kind of been the one to help me, at least put me in rooms that I wouldn't have been in.
Right.
I didn't know him. Wow. For sure. Yeah. One time we were on the phone and Spike Lee had called. So that was like mind blowing. Wow. So yeah, meeting people that are helping me get me into quickly too. Like I said, I've only been doing music for 2 years.
Right.
So it's like I'm meeting people that are helping open doors for me that are pretty cool. Another one. What's another one? Honestly, I think just drop it for me. I think just dropping my music. Period. Like I was a closet singer for 20 some years. Like that. Yeah, that first over anything, just letting my talent be known is very important for me.
That's powerful. The next question is a two-part question, right?
All right.
In music, what's one of the hardest times, one moment that it just felt like it's just too much? Second part. Okay. So we're going to do first part in music, second part in life. 2 moments that you felt like you wasn't going to make it. How did you get through it? And what's going through your
mind? I'm a single mother of 3. So it's been hard. So there's been a lot of times where, because like I said, I everything I do is kind of music related or anything or things that I want to do to make money. And so I don't make a whole bunch of money. So it's been hard. Those are times where I'm like, am I doing this? Should I even be doing this? Am I wasting my time? So that is where it's hard. And then I'll, something will happen where it's like I either get booked a show or I get an opportunity that's like, yes, you need to stay here, right here. And things will expand. But yeah, there's been several times where I'm like, but nobody knew. You never knew. But yeah, remember in my head, that'd be in my mind. But what kept me going is being obedient to my gift.
Being obedient to your gift. Wow. I guess they both correlate together because being an artist and being a mom, that would be music and life. Okay. So we'll take that. We ain't gonna dig into your personal information.
Thank you. You see that? You see real like
Right. And that's the thing, because the most important thing you said was nobody knew. Living in the world today, social media, everybody's posting the highlights of the best moments of their life. Since the pandemic, a lot of people have been suffering with things. They've been depressed, trying to get things together. Like you said, being a single parent. Money's funny. People are colder now. A lot of chaos, a lot of stuff in the world. Suffering in silence. How dangerous is that?
Extremely. Because you never know who can help you, number one. And you will drown in your own thought process. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. You should, I don't suggest anyone suffer in silence. It's very dangerous. Sometimes it takes people's lives. Many times. So, I don't necessarily like to pry in people's business. I feel like people are comfortable with me. So I kind of have the gift where people kind of just tell me. I'm a person that people can talk to, where I don't have to pry. Right. I'm a vessel for that I think certain people can sense. But definitely don't suffer in silence. Please don't. Call somebody.
Pick up a phone. Call somebody before it goes too far. Please.
Just let somebody know. They have betterhelp.com too. That's another therapy source. There's a bunch of different therapy sources out there nowadays. Just let somebody know.
Let somebody know.
The right person.
Nah, that's a powerful thing. Because living in the world today, guess what it is? It ain't easy.
It ain't that easy.
That right there. So, all right. That song is out. What came next? What was the 4th single?
Sold Separately.
Sold Separately.
Yes.
What inspired that record, and what can people expect with that one?
That song is about how your dreams are sold separately. So, no one ever told me my dreams were sold separately. You know how when you get a toy and it says battery is sold separately?
Battery is sold separately.
Your dreams are sold separately. You got to put in the work, determination. It's not going to be given to you, handed to you. It's sold separately, and you have to buy it.
You have to buy it.
And put it in your remote.
Put it in the remote. That's the thing. You got to buy it. You got to put it in the remote. Earlier, you said a thing. You said, I made one video for YouTube. Made the other video specifically for TikTok. We're going to talk about the different platforms and the purposes of the platforms. So when it comes to social media, Instagram, Twitter, you got TikTok, you got Facebook, you got YouTube. They all have a different purpose. What have you learned about social media, and how do you use these platforms, and what's been the most effective way for you?
I will say I'm learning Instagram. I don't feel I'm Instagram aesthetically pleasing, so I'm trying to like figure that out because I'm
Right.
real like I post whatever. But TikTok really has been the avenue. TikTok is Instagram as well is a really good networking tool. So I don't want to sleep on Instagram.
Right.
But Instagram is slowly going to sleep, slightly. Okay, going to sleep, taking a little nap, and TikTok is awake in here.
Wow.
So I mean, if you can, they suggest on TikTok that you post at least 3 to 4 if you're an artist, 3 to 4 times a day. Just post the same video 4 times.
Wow.
One of them are going to hit, or 2 of them are going to hit. You can post the same thing 4 times. You don't have to think of different content for each video. Post that one video 4 times a day. And then maybe tomorrow, post a different section of like your music video 4 times a day. And that puts you in that algorithm, and it gets people seeing you, and you start to get on the For You page. One of those videos are going to hit.
Right.
If your song's dope. If your song's not dope, get back in the studio, get a new team, figure that part out. But yeah, TikTok is a really great tool. I don't really use Twitter. I have a Twitter, Lynze Music. Everything's Lynze Music.
Right.
But TikTok is where I get the majority of my love.
Majority of the love. So TikTok is the wave. A lot of people getting discovered. A lot of opportunities on TikTok.
Yes.
You figured that out. You found your niche 4 times a day. Something's gonna hit. What's been some of your best moments doing that? Like, what you just woke up one day like, wow, it's happening? Because I'm pretty sure it didn't happen overnight. So along your TikTok process, which one stood the most out to you right now?
My song Anxious, for sure. Anxious, I think, got the most attention for like podcasts like you, or like different people have like played my music on their podcast shows, different DJs, different artists. So Anxious and Sold Separately. Those are the 2 that TikTok likes.
Wow, Anxious and Sold Separately.
Wow.
Dope songs. So what can people expect in the future, and what are you working on next? What can people look forward to?
Dopeness and Fire.
Dopeness and Fire. Dopeness and Fire.
I'm working on my EP. I have 1 song done on it already. And that will be, I don't have a date for when that is coming, but it's coming. And I don't miss.
I don't miss.
So that's what you can expect.
So that's what you can expect. Any shows, any performances coming up?
I do. I have a show out here in Tucson, Arizona on the 31st at the MSA Annex. It's their March Fest. So yes, I have a show coming up in a few weeks.
So what is the performance like when you're doing your shows? What's going through your mind? How do you prepare for your shows?
I don't even be knowing. I like performing. That for me, I don't really overthink it. I don't have a band yet, so that's something that I'd really like. You want to read that?
All right, the Bible lets us know to always trust in the Lord with all of our hearts and lean not to our own understanding, but in all our ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. We have to get out of our own thinking, trusting God for everything, for leading and directing our lives, ordering our footsteps. Allow God to teach you how to breathe in him. Powerful.
I agree.
Amen.
Amen.
Very powerful.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like performing is one of my strengths, actually. Yeah, it's kind of like natural, or, I'm a people person. So what's the word? I improvise, but that's my strength. Remember I said a freestyle?
Freestyle. Wow.
So I don't know. I just show up.
Wow. So like they said earlier in the show, death and power is in the tongue. Right. So if you had to say 10 years from now, who is Lynze Music? 10 years from now, tell the people where you're going. What's your plans? 10 years from now, where do you want to be?
10 years from now, I would like to be well-known songwriter, singer. That also works with other artists that need and like my songwriting abilities, and established artist, a Grammy Award winner.
Wow.
I'm also a doula, so I do more than music, you know. Um, so there's a lot, but I want to be an established songwriter in the industry, even more so than being an artist,
Right.
because I started, like I said, I started as writing first.
Right.
But yeah, Grammy Award winner, wealthy, giving back to the community, chilling. I have a testimony, maybe a book or five.
Wow.
I could write a book or five. Best selling, all those things.
Okay.
Uplifting my family with my success. You know,
That's
what I
important. That's important. You said a powerful word, testimony.
Mm-hmm.
From the beginning to now.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to give you know how they have like the book, when you read on the back, it has like pretty much just telling you what the book is about.
Mm-hmm.
Come to your testimony. If you had to give us that, just that back of the book.
Ooh.
Your own words. You're a freestyler. You improvise. So
see, it's so hard for me to talk about myself. It'd be hard. I would say at this point, to be continued.
To be continued. To be continued. And that's fair. That's fair, because you're manifesting, you're working it out right now. For your fans out there, right? Any words for them? Any words to the viewers out there?
I love you. Thank you for supporting me. Your support keeps me going. I hope that if there's anything that you want to do that you haven't done yet, that you won't be a closet singer for 27 years like me. Whether it doesn't have to be music, but whatever it is that you are passionate about, that you love, I hope that you can take the first step to do it for yourself and not worry about what anybody thinks or says. Stay tuned because I'm dropping an EP. Follow me at Lynze Music on all platforms. Keep being great and beautiful and amazing. And that's what I'd have to say. Thank you.
Wow. And that's real right there. Very inspiring. We normally close the show with two things, right? For any inspiring singers out there, any talented people out there, what advice would you give them? And for the women of the world that may be single parents, they may be younger women, what advice would you give to them? And what advice would you give to any up and coming artists or inspiring entrepreneurs?
I'll start with the mom thing first.
Right.
Definitely having a solid support system is the only way you're going to really be able to do it. It takes a village to raise children. Thank you. It takes a village. So having a really strong support system and goals, like have a vision board and write down, like you said, in 10 years. I don't be wanting to speak on everything because you know what I'm saying? You got to let things, but write a vision board for yourself and make it happen. Number 2 for music. You said female artists?
Any artist, really. You can do female, you can do any artist. It's up to you.
Just do it like Nike.
Just do it like Nike.
And your engineering is very important. Having a decent engineer will change the game for your music. I would say invest more in your engineering and your production. 50-50. So production has to do with music videos and engineering. Invest in those.
Right.
Don't scheme on the engineering or the video. Let the quality of the engineering match the video. Wow. And you want it to be up there. Your engineer can make or break you.
Wow. And that's real right there. It's definitely real. As you continue your journey, right? Project comes out. Would you come back up here and give us an update on how things are going, what that process was like? And how was the interview? Was it pretty cool? Would you do it again?
Great. I would love to do it again.
Okay. Yeah, we appreciate it. We appreciate that.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Wow. Thank you. Anything that we may have missed or we may have skimmed through it because we're kind of jamming it in there. If there's anything that the people may need to know that we may have not touched on.
There's so much, I'm sure, but you touched on exactly what you needed to start me out. So maybe the next interview we can dive into more of me. I got to keep something mysterious.
That's dope right there. So again, we're going to close it out, but I want to play that video, Anxious Again. So we'll close it with that. We're going to jump into that. But before we do that, I'm going to have you close the show out.
Do you think it would be cool if we played It Ain't That Easy?
Yeah, I'll pull that up while you're talking now.
Okay. And you want me to do what?
You could just close the show out. You could just encourage them while
Okay.
I'm pulling the video.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching me for the past 55 minutes and 7 seconds. It was a pleasure. I hope that you got to know me and support me and my music and everything. And just thanks for watching. Follow me at Lynze Music, Lynze Music on all platforms. And I hope you have a blessed Sunday.
Wow. And that's the thing. Tell them where they can find you at.
Lynze Music, Lynze Music at all platforms, or Lynze on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. I'm not on SoundCloud. But yeah, Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. That's where I'm at.
All right,
Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube.
All right, that's cool. And then you could tell them more about the project. I'm still pulling up the song, so you could just talk.
Oh, okay. My EP?
The EP.
It is going to be dope. That's all I can say. It's going to be cool. And I'm really, you guys, I feel like I haven't really shown my artistic abilities all the way. I've just shown the tip. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for more and more and more and more.
All right. So while I'm pulling that, because it's still not ready, I'm going to jump into the first one. Then I'll play that right after it.
All right.
All right.
Hello, my name's Anxiety. Pleased to meet you. I'm your leader. I'm gonna leave you second guessing and reflecting, cause it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Hello, my name's Sobriety. Pleased to meet you. I'm your leader. I'm gonna leave you second guessing and reflecting, baby, cause you matter. Baby girl, you matter. Yeah. And I'm flattered, cause I'm all you see, and I'm all you need, and all you breathe. It's a vicious cycle that's turning, I'm learning. It's because of me, and I love it. Cause without me, how could you breathe? You know I'm the one that you need. You know I'm the one that you need. And baby, for you, I'm a fake. Call me if you need anything. Call me if you need anything, yeah. My feelings are 100 degrees. I feel like I got a disease. I feel like I got a disease. Hello, my name's Anxiety. Pleased to meet you. I'm your leader. I'm gonna leave you second guessing and reflecting, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Hello, my name's Sobriety. Pleased to meet you. I'm your leader. I'm gonna leave you second guessing and reflecting, baby, cause you matter. Baby girl, you matter. It's another day disconnected, another day avoiding rejection, another day stuck in a cell block of a vivid mind. How cruel of me to keep it all confined. I'll cut a nigga off and I never look around. How cruel of me. I'll cut a nigga off and I never look around. How cruel to me. Don't black out on me, don't black out on me. Don't black out, just roll some trade, roll some weight. Everything gon' be alright, I know you anxious. I know you anxious. But don't black out on me, don't black out on me. Don't black out, just roll some trade, roll some weight. Everything gon' be alright, I know you anxious. I know you anxious. Hello, my name's Anxiety. Pleased to meet you. I'm your leader. I'm gonna leave you second guessing and reflecting, cause it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Hi, I'm Ja, and I'll be your teacher today. This is a class on healing your heart, healing your chakras, and healing your spirit. So, is there anybody here that is interested in coming up and maybe writing something encouraging about healing your spirit and your heart on the board?
My mind's been stuck on what went wrong, and it's sad that I still sing the song. You are the reasons I right my wrongs. I miss how you please me. Will you come on? He was born in the darkness. I was just adopted. Feelings were forgotten like Batman and Robin. That little nigga's mind. But back to the topic, I must admit. Inside I feel you're the one that I adore. You're the one that I'll for. It ain't that easy to forget. Miss your love, but I'll never show it. You're on my line when you talk, I listen. I lost the vision, damn I'm tripping. Silly of me to think that you could ever really love me too. Silly of me to think that I could ever.
Look, it was silly if you think I didn't love you, and silly if I put anybody above you. You kept me in the loop, I'm double dutching the trouble. You've been dodging the point, I'm trying to get out the bubble. You thought that I was tripping with some women, no I wasn't catching feelings, I was only on the mission for you. Now you trying to say this, you ain't speaking my language. I've been making some changes, I miss you too. And on them late nights, don't let them you up. Text ending straight pipe, don't want that miss you text. Have a great night, what y'all to say thank you. You know it's next, right? You said next, right? Well, I guess lie. I never told one of those, so I guess I should tell one of those and accept your request. Like clothes on the floor, close the door, spread your legs wide, chest to chest, tight, lips and neck, right? Then you gotta let me go, right? Then I'm dropping close to the floor. Can you please make up your mind? That's it, this a waste of time.
My mind's been stuck on what we're wrong. It's sad that I still sing this song. You are the reasons I right my wrongs. Baby, you please me when I come home. And my friends telling you how deep I was into you. They will put me on the AE interview. Forget to mention my intervention, but can you blame me? Your love's amazing. Your soul's embedded in my human vibe, which will also feel cool and drastic. My heart's attacking my common sense.
Yeah, you gotta let me go. Cheers styles on the floor. Lady Lynze. It ain't easy.